I'm Rory Finnegan. I'm CEO and founder of Beyond Accounting. I get asked a lot how much an accounting function should cost. People are interested and want to make sure they're getting value for money. They're not overspending, but they're not underinvesting. And there's no simple one answer to this because it depends on the size of the business, the number of transactions, how much you're outsourcing, how much you're doing in-house. But we do have a rule of thumb that we've developed that kind of works for every company. And what it is your accounting function, including your external accountants, your internal people, if you've got a bookkeeper, the systems that you're using, the whole lot for your accounting and finance function should cost between 3 and 4% of your turnover. I mean, turnover if you're a services company. If you're a goods company, it's the gross profit. So maybe between 3 and 4% of your gross profit. So what that means for a small company that's starting out, maybe they have a turnover of 100,000 in fee income, their accounting should be within 3 to 4%. So that's 3 or 4 grand a year. So that's enough to pay for your annual compliance and a bit of help throughout the year, but not very much. You get bigger companies, maybe they grow to 1 million in turnover. Now their budget is between 30 and 40 grand. So you're almost at the level where you could have an employee. And a lot of people do. They might have a bookkeeper full-time for the company. I personally think that's not the best use of funds because it's soaking up all your funds on just one level. Whereas with the outsourcing model, you might have a bookkeeper for a day a week and an accountant for maybe 2 days a month, and maybe some strategic advice each quarter, as well as your annual compliance. And that works well for that size company. As the company grows, maybe it's 3 million turnover company, the budget starts, there's more in their budget for this. So, you're up to 80 to 120,000. So that's when you can start having some staff. You might have a full-time accounts assistant, you might have an accountant in the company. You might still outsource some elements of it, your CFO, but you have probably an in-house team and some outsourced services. So that rule of thumb of 3 to 4% works, all the way up as we see it. And in some cases, we see companies that are spending too much, and we can say, no, there's a better way of doing it. But often we see cases where people are underinvested. And, on the face of it, they feel clever that they're not spending money, they're saving money. But if you underinvest, you do run the risk of not being on top of your business or not running things properly. And it can actually backfire because you can end up with problems with the revenue or problems with cash flow, or you don't know where you are, you're not running the business properly, you're not looking at your margins. So I think that balance is important of investing the right amount of money in your finance function at whatever level you're at.